Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Beyond the Fog. We left off our party members last time, still in a tree. Who would like to do the recap?
Um, I can. We were in a tree. We got away from the spiders and ghosty things. None of us are technically dead. We found out that Hortense is like 14 equivalent and on the run from the mob. Three of us reunited, put out a fire for mystical reasons. Giel is still off somewhere and just managed to find another room on fire, which I think they've already been by one, so this is now three. And there was some spiders, but a good stealth roll.
Yes, a very good stealth roll.
I think that's where we're up to.
Yeah, alright, cool. So you guys put that fire out. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
erase it from my
kitten.
map real quick.
Come here.
Alright, cool. So, I think we might start with the larger of the two groups. You are in a straight corridor. Behind you is the former fire location, and in front of you is darkness. Like, not magical pitch darkness, but it's dark.
And I think we were. We had been trying to find Giel, and then we found the room that was on fire, and then Giel ran away from us on hearing us.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard you while I was going towards the stealthy spider room. And I noped out because Giel is very much in a nope out of everything mood right now. And I got an inspiration point for role playing instead of making it easy on the GM, which I greatly appreciate. But but yeah, no, I heard you and was like, that sounds like things I don't want to be involved in. And instead walked through a bunch of spiders.
So I think if we head back to the room that we had, I can't remember if we left the room that would have been on fire.
I think we were still in the room
Yeah,
because I remember we were
Maybe.
talking about having a nap in
yeah.
that room.
And
Um,
it's probably safe to assume that if the room was impassable and on fire, Giel would not have passed it because wet.
yes. I'm I'm thinking that this room is as good as any for us to stop in. For one thing, it's only got the one entrance, so instead of being in the middle of a corridor, so if we stop here and try and see what happens and catch our breath a little, I think that might be the best.
Hortense has just collapsed. Like, you know, at the end of a really long, like 12-hour flight, where you sit down, it's not so much that you fall asleep, but you are just unconscious. That is Hortense right now.
Okay. I just
And
need
she's not lying down nicely. She's just like she's like slumped.
Okay. I just need to
It's not
clarify.
attractive.
You guys turned a corner in the corridor and found a big section that was on fire and have since put it out, and then progressed
Yes.
back down the corridor. So you are still in a corridor. You're not in a room. There is the direction where the fire was, and then a different direction. You are not currently in a room with one entrance.
Right.
I thought the fire had been a room.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a fire room as well.
No, it wasn't a room. You turned in the corridor in this tree, and there was a big section that was on fire, and then you put the fire out and then continued forward through where the fire had been.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna commit to what I said. I'm asleep on the ground. I've said it. It's canon.
I'm gonna start to just set up something that looks, is somewhat concealed as best as I can manage, and just apparently I'm taking the first watch.
If it helps, Because I'm an elf. Hold on. I only need 4 hours instead of 8
Yes.
for a full rest.
Good for you.
Okay, so you guys are committing to a long rest in that part of the corridor. Okay. I feel like this is going to be Gil's focus episode then, in that case. Let's smash cut over to you then, Gil. So you have just snuck past a piece of corridor full of spiders, which is on the one hand less than ideal, there being that many spiders, but also you snuck by them, so it's not too bad. And so in front of you, you have a big batch of fire, and behind you have spiders.
Okay. Does the fire look any different to the fire that I just came from? Is it
It's got that same sort of look to it, like as if lightning had come through the wall, and lit the tree ablaze, but the tree seems to not have any exterior holes in it. Like the bit you saw before, it's part of the corridor. You can vaguely see in the light of the fire there is a path directly on the other side of that fire. And you can also see there is a path sort of to the left. So the corridor kind of splits and the fire is in the middle of a crossroads.
Okay, so I can't go down either of the paths without encountering fire.
That is correct. Like, you can
Okay.
cross the corridor. It's not like a wall of fire or anything, but it is hot and dry.
Yeah. I think in that case, Giel is gonna look back over its shoulder at where the spiders were and go, well, I turned around and things have been different before, and try and sneak back down the corridor past the spiders again.
All right,
I think
fantastic.
it likes its chances more with leggy and stabby more than burny and dryy.
Okay, fantastic. Roll me another stealth.
Rolling the bones. I've been using a different dice bot. This will be terrible for me.
22. Very nice. All right. You sneak by with absolutely no problems. Let me just find where your little dot on the map is. There you are. Alrighty. So you sneak on by there. And then... doodly-doodly-doo. Okay. Alright, so you snuck past the spiders, and it kind of looks the same way as you remember it. So the corridor has that curve in it, going back towards the fire that you saw before. I cannot hear you. I think you might have pushed to talk on.
No, I keep muting because I don't want to make too many noises, and the cats are eating quite loudly next to me. So,
Yeah.
it was a deliberate decision. It was just one I forgot about immediately after doing it. Yeah, I'm just gonna sort of continue to sneak down the corridor, remaining. I'm not tense. I'm just terribly, terribly alert. Listening, continuing to listen, especially for the sound of spiders catching on behind me.
All right, no worries. Can I please get a perception check?
Yes. Remind me, dear character sheet, what my perception is. Lovely. Alright. I'm just going to save that so I don't have to type it out so much. Oh my goodness.
Well, we've seen that before. All right, a 22. Great. Okay, so as you progress down the corridor, you cannot hear the sound of spiders coming after you behind. And you come to a intersection in the corridor. There is a path ahead and there is a path to your left. And the first thing that you notice as you approach this intersection is the smell of smoke and wood ash on the air. However, as you approach, the one thing that jumps out at you rather immediately is the lack of fire glow as you come to that intersection. And looking down the path to your left, you can see that there is a section of corridor there that was most certainly on fire very, very recently. It's still quite warm, but the fire has been extinguished.
Okay. Giel is going to assume that if it was on fire recently but now is not, I think it's had a bit of chance to calm down now. And probably assumes there's only really one group of people in this entire thing that are interested in doing things like putting out fires and helping the tree and all of these sorts of things. So Giel is going to pull its scarf up, do up its shoes a little bit tighter, and attempt to make its way across the least burny parts of this hot and dry interior of the tree.
All right, sounds good. I will get you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
I'm bad at that. Actually, no, that's not true. Constitution saving throws I'm quite good at. That's right. I made this character with the mandate of be sneaky and don't die. I'm actually quite good at Constitution saving throws. I'm not good at rolling, though.
You should not have said it out loud. Oh my gosh. 7 ain't good. Okay, so you do make it through the other side. However, you are dry, you are hot, you are uncomfortable. Like
Yeah.
you can feel your your eyelids.
Yep. The insides of my elbows have never been more itchy in my entire fucking life.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll let you do with that what you will. Now I'm going to cut back over to Audacity and everyone else. Hi, James. You didn't miss much.
I didn't get spidered.
I'm having a nap.
Spidered. All right, so just so that I understand how you guys are currently set up, James, just to catch you up real quick, Hortense decided, fuck this shit, and laid down on the floor in a very undignified fashion and is now committing to a long rest. Audacity, did you want to roll a stealth or anything for your attempt at not being an obvious lump in the corridor?
Oh, I was doing that.
Okay, 13. I will make a note of that. Great. Now, James, would you perchance be also attempting to have a long rest in some sort of inconspicuous manner? Or are you likely to be standing guard, or what is your plan, given as the two other members of your party that were currently with you are having a break?
So at this point, Audacity was kind of resting but taking watch.
Mm-hmm.
Just to inform your choices.
I am going to separate my... Probably, is there like another chamber I can walk into?
So you are in the middle of a corridor. The section of corridor directly behind you, in the direction that you came, is where the fire was, and is no longer. And there is more corridor in front of you, which is dark wooden corridors, and that's as much as you know.
Because I do want to rest, but I want to make the most out of my disguise. That's going to be my I'm meant to be here. Basically, that's my plan if I get jumped. So, I All right. Yeah, I'll just collapse on the ground. Julian's too tired. I'll just collapse on the ground next to everyone else.
All right, fantastic. Can I please get a... I'm going to call it an insight check from Gil at disadvantage.
Ouch, but okay. 1d20. It's not K1, that's advantage.
Oh, you could... ADV will do advantage, and DIS will do disadvantage.
Yes. I'm just going to do it this way, and then I'm going to add my insight, which is +4, so that's a total of 10.
Doesn't look like it rolled the right way. Normally it has both rolls and one crossed out.
Oh. It does say dis next to it.
Yeah, you might have labeled the result rather than actually
Oh,
rolling
maybe.
disadvantage. So exclamation mark R space D20 DIS. Or D20 space DIS.
Okay, I that's what I did, so
Oh, how strange.
let me see if I can... Yes.
Hey, there you go.
There we go.
That is wretchedly unfortunate, though, because that is both a nat 20 and a nat 1. Wow! Wow, that sucks!
I would argue that means that they cancel each other out. But...
How unfortunate.
Okay.
Alright. You're dry, you're itchy, you're uncomfortable, you are not having a good time, and you're moving through the corridor, and you can see ahead of you, there does seem to be some figures in the corridor. One of them seems to be particularly look like one of those dryad things that was attacking you before, and you can't quite really make out because your eyes are just too dry and you can't quite blink both sets of eyelids properly. What do you do?
What can I tell about the walls of this corridor? Are there like nooks and crannies and spaces in them? Are there like, is it just smooth? What am I looking at?
It's the same kind of rough wood that you've seen throughout the rest of this tunnel system. So it looks like it's kind of been nibbled out by some sort of gnawing insect, which is not particularly clean. So it's not been done with, like, it's not sanded, it's not measured, it's not straight. So there's plenty of little bits and bobs and splinters here and there, and etc. etc.
All right, Gail would like to find a spot where it can sort of curl up, so it's got a little bit of a lip, at least, where these things can't really see it, and it's going to curl itself up in there and watch and see what they do next.
All right, fantastic. Please roll me a stealth.
That's not the correct channel.
I love having the cameras on because I can just see your head in your hands. It's so good. Oh, flippin' heck.
For those playing along at home, I just rolled a natural 20.
The rest of the party can contest, however.
I would need to roll a 23.
I'm gonna try. So it'd be a perception.
Yeah.
Unconscious.
Oh, I'm currently asleep. So maybe because you're quite dry and you're quite hot right now. So maybe the feel of you going past will wake me up. I'm gonna try. So it's R exclamation.
No, exclamation R.
I said R. R.
Exclamation R.
17, which isn't a bad roll. It just doesn't be a 26.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't beat a 26. But
yeah,
very bad.
you would have need to roll a 21 on a 20-sided die to equal me. So
Well, I had a +5.
I have a +6.
Ah, no!
This
Yeah. So
is how maths works.
you are so well concealed in this little hollow bit. Like it's almost like a little shelf quite up high near the ceiling. So you've got a good vantage point looking out at these figures that you can kind of see in the murkiness, which are just
Yeah.
not clear because your eyeballs.
Yeah.
But they have absolutely zero capacity of noticing you right now. Good grief. Alrighty.
So I'm assuming that this is us. So Audacity is just kind of keeping watch, not as effectually as might have been hoped, apparently. Once the other two are down, I'm going to take one of my bags of caltrops and just kind of start scattering them on the two approaches to us, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And then go back to where I'm sitting next to the other two.
Okay. Now, I did used to have an appropriate noise in my soundboard, but it does not seem to still be there, so it's alright, I will just a cappella it with my mouth. Alright, so we have currently got Hortense and Julian having a well-needed nap. Gil, are you going to be keeping watch, or are you going to be having a nap?
I don't think Giel is capable of nap at this point. I think Giel is definitely of the, oh god, everything hurts. My eyeballs, but and oh god, scary things across the corridor. This is vigilance time.
Alright, fantastic.
Stormy scattering caltrops, which no idea what that looks like. But
it could just as easily have been scattering seeds, question mark?
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and assume that they're dangerous, because I'm going to go ahead and assume everything is dangerous right now.
That is entirely fair. Alright, so, some time passes, and there is a pleasant ding, 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 ding kind of feeling. Hortense, you are only required 4 hours of nap to achieve a long rest.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I made a really bad joke. You only require 4 hours for a long rest, so you have completed a long rest and are back up to full. You have all your spell slots. Huzzah!
Yay!
Julian is passed out in the corridor next to you. There is still no sign of Giel, and Audacity is nearby. You are welcome to wake up or sleep in. I assume you're going to be waking up after your 4 hours.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna let on that I'm awake just yet, in case anything is absolutely going to shit. So I've cracked open one eye, and I'm still kind of acting like I'm an old lady, even though I'm not an old lady right now. So all of I'm getting up and I'm like, these old bones, before I realize that everybody knows I'm 14.
Alright,
Well,
fantastic.
except Gil right now doesn't know.
Yes. Speaking of Giel, have you been hypervigilance mode for the last 4 hours?
Yes.
Alright. Great. I would like you to roll me another insight at disadvantage, please.
Cat. Thank you. Roll.
Oh, well.
This is too good.
Yeah, it's another natural 1. Giel, my dude. Oh, my word. Alright. That's fine.
A time, okay?
Yes, unfortunately, Giel is in a situation. All right, so one of the figures in the murkiness in the main part of the corridor has started to move around. And you are still in the can't sleep, clown will eat me kind of phase.
Mm-hmm.
So, so Hortense has started, is now kind of awake and noticeably so to me.
Yes.
Yep.
Hortense, do you mind taking over, keeping the watch for anything coming to eat us?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
I spread some spikes about just in case anything comes along, so don't step around too much.
Oh, that's what caltrops are. Okay, cool.
Yes, caltrops are
D4s.
they're D4s made of steel spikes. They come in everything from anti-infantry to anti-tank size.
Right. Okay, cool. Yep, I'll keep watch.
All right.
At this point, Audacity is going to switch from the light resting, of which you can do 2 hours in a long rest, and into the sleep, of which you need like 6 hours in a long rest. Sleep.
Cool. In another 4 hours, we can have Julian awaken from your slumped slumber on the ground. Can I get another insight check from Gil, please? How do you wake up,
I'm
Julian?
sure.
If you roll another nat 1, I'm just gonna die. It's statistically impossible, however. Here we are.
It's not statistically impossible. What's more?
Oh my fucking god!
How? How? How are you rolling like this?
Because the dice understand what is required for my role playing at this point in time.
Which part did you piss off or on?
Clearly not the dice gods. They handed me 2 natural 20s for my stealth and perceptions before.
Oh man. I can't believe this. That is 3 natural ones for this particular test. I'm dying. All right. Okay. Well, Julian, you awaken, and Audacity is asleep, and Hortense is awake and looks like a teenager.
All right, yeah, I'm really, really sore. I've me as in myself have slept carpet before without anything, and this is rocks. So I'm gonna say that it can be done, but you don't really feel very rested, and I'm yeah in a fair amount of pain. And everything aches, and I feel very stiff.
Yeah. Mechanically, however, you are back to full health with all of your spell slots.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of lurch myself off a bit and grimace at Audacity and Hortense. And I have actually seen Hortense young at this point. I remember from the previous session that was actually explained. So I'm not going through the hell with it. But yeah, that's what I do.
Cool. Are you gonna say anything? Interact with Hortense any? Here is a chance for some roleplay before we.
Still sleeping, isn't she?
Audacity is still asleep. I believe you have another 2 hours to sleep before you complete a long rest. Is that right?
If we're going rules as written, yeah.
Yep.
And okay, I crack my shoulders a bit, sit up and go, oh well, I'll keep watch. Hey, does anyone know where Gil is? I haven't seen her for a while.
No, I haven't seen them. Not since the big fight before. They ran off, which was good because it meant a bunch of spiders and that followed them. But I haven't seen them since.
Well, Gil's pretty good at hiding, so I'm sure they're okay. Maybe I mean, okay in the physical sense. But
They're so tightly strung. I'm not sure they can be okay in the emotional sense.
Talking shade about you in earshot. Damn.
Actually, that was a good question. Now that, because I am in earshot, have I heard names being used? And therefore, like, can just bypass the next insight check?
You are unbelievably tired because you have just been sitting there staring at these figures in the ground after having been through a really hot room for
True.
like 8 hours. So you're welcome to roll an intelligence as opposed to an insight, if that makes things any better for you.
I mean, not really. I think insight is still my larger bonus.
I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, doesn't matter what you roll because you're just going to get a 1 anyway.
Avray says, nat 1, all the time, only.
Yeah. 1d6. Disadvantage. Okay. A 4. No? What?
Why don't
That
you roll a
didn't do
d6?
Oh, sorry. Because I was thinking about my bonus, not the roll. Okay, 3.
That is not a 1.
It's not a 1. And that is plus. That is plus. If it's an insight, it's plus 4. So that is a 7.
Okay. Well, it's not quite up to average, but you're starting to
Yeah.
go, hold on.
They've been still for an awful long time and much chiller than I'm expecting.
I came in
dangerous
here
things
with
to be.
friends.
Yes. So I'm going to give you a little bit more opportunity for Julian and Hortense to talk before we time skip the last few hours to get Audacity out of bed. So go ahead and have some conversation. Shoot.
so, Hortense,
Yep.
you're not old.
I mean, not in the physical sense, no.
So you're just an old soul, but I mean you're not really. So
Look, sometimes you piss off a lot of people, and it's necessary to disguise yourself. And sometimes the best disguise is the cloak of age.
fair enough. That I can understand that. The best I could think of was a scarf. So I understand.
Thank you.
Are you okay? Like, are you being pursued even now?
I mean, unless they came through the fog, no.
You don't have much of a reason to go back anyway. Even if you could, then I guess.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting my wagon back. Like, if I could get my wagon with the rest of my stuff and then push that through the fog and then just live here, that'd be fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I mean, like, it's not like it was a particularly special wagon. Technically, it wasn't even mine. So, and like, I can always get one on this side. So I'm just gonna keep, futzing about.
Is that how you learned to be a druid? Did you abduct a druidic wagon and it just happened to teach you the tools of the trade, or?
No, my mom taught me.
Oh, nice. I suppose you might want to see her at some point as well.
This is intentional silence, by the way. I haven't dropped out.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that I was thinking about how I was going to respond to intentional silence. Didn't you hear me? You didn't hear what I said? I was asking because he has no. This is just Julian. What did you? And he just repeats himself basically.
I continue to say nothing.
Oh, okay. Okay, you don't want to talk about it. Okay.
As a sidebar, like as the player, I just love that Julian is like, here's a really personal question. Oh, you want to talk about it? Okay. But, like, it takes a minute?
He's not that kind of bright.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm done.
Okay, wonderful. Alright, so we'll time skip forward for another 2 hours, and I'm gonna give Gil one more shot as Audacity wakes up.
Alright. Disadvantage thing is messing me up.
Would a string of just swearing in infernal muttered as I wake up cancel out that disadvantage at all?
If you were talking at regular volume rather than muttering it, then yes.
This is as I wake up, and I saw there is at least some swearing happening.
Alright, I'll give you this one as flat rather than a disadvantage.
Hey,
12.
12!
That is above average. I think you've kind of managed to work up enough moisture in your eyeballs to properly blink, and then you kind of look down, and then those sort of blurry shapes that were there kind of actually readjust themselves into, wait a minute, I know those people. Those are not spiders.
Okay. I think, Gil sort of blearily blinks a few times. I think I did mention that I'd probably used up my water bottle refreshing my scarf after the first encounter with the fire. So that has made that that's used up that resource for me. Sort of I guess probably what the rest of the party experiences, because not only have I now I'm extremely dry and hot, and the scarf is probably running out of moisture a little bit, but I've also been crammed in a tiny hole for upwards of 8 hours.
Yes.
I think some of the joints aren't exactly obeying. I'm pretty sure some of my limbs have gone to sleep at this point, which is a damn sight more than the rest of me. So I think there's this um sort of noise of something moving around in the wood opposite the opposite where you are in the thing, and you hear this tiny little ow 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 ow, and then Gil drops to the ground out of the wall and sort of comes skulking over.
Just a sudden whoomp into frame.
I scream in surprise and drop whatever I'm holding.
Audacity has her sword out at this point.
It's me.
Well, that's a bit of a... Well, at least we got the gang back together.
Where have you been this whole time?
Oh, there was fire, and then I sort of hid in the wall for a bit. Does anyone have water, please?
Yeah, I can do that. And Audacity just kind of hands over a mostly full water skin.
Yeah.
Great.
Gil is going to apply it to. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I'm gonna disturb this, but she's poked her head entirely like between two of the window slats. Cats. Yeah, so as you see Giel sort of wet the scarf first and then wrap it up and then rub some water into elbows and knees and around the neck where you see that the skin, which is usually like it's usually pretty uniform. It's not like it's scaly or anything, but it's very dry, it's peeling. You can see like cracks in it. Where there's like red showing through underneath. It does not look comfortable. Yes, that was my water bottle. Thank you, Kat.
All right. Well, the gang is all back together, and everyone has had a long rest except Gil. who has had the equivalent of a short rest, I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. I knew this going in.
I feel like Yale's the kind of person as well that could have a stress nap. Like you're napping, but you're not relaxing.
Yeah, you managed to sleep and gain none of the benefits of actually being asleep, yes.
I occasionally have those sleeps. I had that sleep on Friday night at the event because I had a lot of caffeine that day.
I occasionally don't have those sleeps.
Huh.
Oh dear.
So I think I get 1 hit dice worth of
You
worth
can
of hit points back.
you can spend as many hit dice as you have left,
Right.
which
Which
is
is
1 or
2.
2.
2, I believe.
Yes,
You
you
haven't
can
used
spend
any, so.
you can spend 1 and then see what your hit points are like, and spend the other afterwards. Is how it works.
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
add your con.
And then I don't get those back until I have a long rest, right?
Correct.
Okay. So let me roll 1d8. Okay.
Nice.
I'm happy with that.
Yes. Do you have a con bonus?
Yes, I do.
Put that on too.
Oh, even better. All right.
All right. Brilliant.
Somehow. All right, cool. Somehow, despite being, actually, should I get any detriments to that for having like the world's worst eczema right now?
Not in recovering your hit points. I think that is unnecessarily cruel.
Fair enough. I'll
Um,
just continue to acknowledge that I will be dry and itchy until further notice.
Yes.
At least, somewhat hydrated externally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can weave it into the narrative how it affects you. It doesn't have to all be stats. All right. So the gang's all together. Except for Owen, who is still a tree. All right, so you are currently in this wooden corridor, all together. Safety in numbers. Behind you is a room which was on fire about 12 hours ago or so, and it's actually cooled off a fair bit, but the heat hasn't completely dissipated, but it's not the same heat it was. And then there is a corridor in front of you, which is dark and quiet.
Think we try to continue forwards and see what we'll get to, eh?
Yeah, I reckon so.
At least it seems like it's not more fire.
We'll hope. If we come across some more fire, then fish to the back of the party.
Has Gil noticed, by the way?
Oh yeah, probably at this point. I think Gil is probably has done the double take, like the, and then like eyes ahead. This is not my business. This is not my business, and has just not mentioned it.
I do love the level to which Gil just stays in their lane. And they're just like, you know what? Maybe this is just a thing that elves do. Maybe they're not old all the time.
Gil has long since learned to not ask questions to which it suspects there is even the slightest chance of it regretting knowing the answer.
All right, moving forward.
All right, moving forwards. I would like a perception check from everybody, please.
$14.
11.
12.
13.
All right,
But I
fantastic.
accidentally read my previous die result and it came up as 8, and I was like, 1, that looks like it hasn't added my bonus, what's going on? 2, not the fuck again.
Oh dear. Alrighty. So that is. We've got the whole set. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wonderful. Alright, so Gil, it's darkish, you're still uncomfortable. As far as you can tell, there are not any spiders in this corridor.
That's all I need to know right now.
Um, for everyone else, you're moving together through this corridor, and it kind of curves around to the. I have to turn my map around to the left, and then curves back around on itself to the right. So it's kind of this U-shaped bend in the corridor. And in the gloom up ahead of you, around about the same time to one another, you can see two things. The first thing is a dead end, and the second thing is a chest.
Ooh.
Well, this is seeming a bit convenient and suspicious.
Gil is going to sort of walk up to it very slowly and look it over for anything suspicious, either trap-like or otherwise.
Alright, roll some bones for that.
Audacity will come up with him and assist with that checking.
Certainly. Allow the rogues to do their job.
Is that a roll each or one with advantage?
One with advantage for a help action.
Okay, so this is perception again, or
You can do perception or investigation. Either will work.
perception's good. 25.
Brilliant. All right. Cool. So you're looking this chest over. And it seems to be some sort of. It looks like a workman's tool chest. So the kind of thing that you would put your saws and your hammers and all this, that, and the other thing in, as opposed to a perhaps a nautical treasure chest or any other kind of coffer or anything like that. Is definitely some sort of tool chest, and you can see points where it was dragged through the raw wood to be left in this position. With a 25, you're drawn particular attention to the fact that those drag marks seem to come out of the wall rather than down the corridor, so you're not quite sure exactly which direction it was dragged in here from. And it gives you this weird vibe that it's not just here for convenience's sake. You're almost certain there's a trap here.
Not a detection of a trap specifically?
It doesn't have a visual one as far as Gil can tell. So, like, there's no, like, tripwire next to it like in Skyrim or anything. But, like, you can see there are a few seams in the wood that don't look like they should be there. So you're pretty sure that if you just crack the lid open, something bad will happen.
All right. I think everybody should probably stay back a little bit. The chest it's kind of telling me that it's not safe.
Yeah, I'm okay, I have a thing that I want to do, but I'm not sure if Audacity would do it. I'm just gonna DM you a question quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Gail, if you want to take a couple of paces back from this, got one thing I'd like to be trying.
Okay. I mean, if you're sure. And Gil is going to take more than a few steps back.
So, Audacity has her sword out already because we're in that sort of environment, and stands in a perfect fencing stance so that she is just at the edge of her reach, and then with a nice long lunge, stabs the box.
Alright. I'm not going to have you roll to attack because it is not going to dodge. So I will get you to roll some damage.
Okay. Do I get sneak attack against the box?
You do not.
Dang.
It doesn't have vital organs. It's not a mimic.
You say that. Something's buzzing really loudly.
Someone's phone is near their mic.
Sorry about that. I just muted my phone. From vibration and stuff. That was me. I got a message. And I have to use my phone today.
All good. Alright. 6. Which particular portion of this chest are you stabbing with your sword?
Probably the lid near one of the suspicious scenes.
Alrighty. Is everyone standing back or just Gil? Where is everybody?
I'm hiding behind Julian.
I was actually going to say before all of this, but Hortense didn't say anything, so I didn't feel the need to. But I'm just going to retroactively say that I was very gently, hopefully gently enough that Hortense didn't notice, but very gently, just kind of like holding on a piece of her clothing or something.
Oh, not gonna lie, the urge to run in and be like, Hortense has already opened the box, but I very strongly resisted the urge.
Alright, awesome. Can I please get a dexterity saving throw from Audacity then, please?
Okie dokie.
Beautiful! A 23. We like to see it. Okay, so you stab this chest and your blade, because it's rapier, yeah?
Yeah.
Your blade goes quite neatly into one of those weird seams and you feel it push up against something that almost feels springy. It has some give to it as you stab through there, and you can hear something sort of go snap. And then as you sort of step back from your lunge, you can hear this sort of kind of noise, and there are splinters shooting out through the lid that are embedding themselves into the wood of the lid of this chest, and they look like kind of like toothpicks, I guess, in size. And there's just a spray of them that just embeds itself into the timber, and you can see it poking partway through. But none of them have pierced through the wood. And then it sort of just stops, and he's quiet.
Well, that was not the result I thought I was about to get from stabbing that, but doesn't seem to have done me any harm. I'm gonna prod it again.
It appears to be inert.
Well, that's something.
I would like to go over and now that it's been triggered and have a look in the box.
All right. The box is not locked. And as you lift the lid, you can see that, yes, there was a whole bunch of these wooden slivers that are now embedded into the underside of the lid from some sort of mechanism that seems to be embedded into the floor of this box. And apart from that mechanism, you can see in there 15 gold pieces and a water skin.
Oh, is there water in the water skin?
You'll have to pick it up and find out.
Okay, I'll pick up both.
All right. The water skin appears to be full.
Oh, okay. I would like to. I'm gonna keep the 15 gold pieces for now.
No, you're not.
Not with a rogue standing right next to you.
I'm saying that out loud. Like, I'm not being sneaky about it. I'm saying, oh, there's 15 gold pieces in here and a water skin. It's just because 15 is not greatly divisible between unless my math is bad.
Once we have Omen, it'll be fine.
Yes. So I'm saying I'm holding on to this for now. I'm not playing an evil character or a sneaky character in that way. And then I give the water skin to Gail.
Oh, thanks.
No props.
Alright.
Could I, oh, actually not could. At this point, I'll ask Gil, do you mind if I have a bit of a look at it?
The skin, and I'll hold out the water skin to Julian.
I mean, we might want to check over that that's actually water before we start pouring it all over you.
Well, yeah, I was going to try and discern whether there's anything interesting about it, magical or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will roll an Arcana for, presumably.
You're welcome to roll an Arcana, yeah.
Hey!
A natural 20. Beautiful. All right. You're looking at this water skin. It is different to, like, in style to the water skin that you've seen Gil have before and that you have upon your person. I believe you have one. But you're looking at it and there's no magical vibe to it at all. You can't sense anything. There are no carvings or decorations on this particular thing that could be magical runes or anything like that. There's no decorations on it at all, let alone magical ones. And it just seems to be an inert, full, oddly smelling water skin from a box inside of a magical tree.
Is it just oddly smelling because it's stale?
You will have to inspect it and find out.
Okay, can I also do that?
You may.
I passed it over to Hortense.
Okay.
While this inspection of the water is going on, I'm looking at the tracks for where the chest was apparently dragged through the dead-end wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I just swing my sword, attempting to be through the wall.
No, it clunks against the wood, as it feels like it should do.
Okay. Just poke it a couple of times. Poke, poke.
Tunk, tunk.
I got a 4. I don't know shit about this water jug. This water skin.
Oh, you rolled it in the out of character chat.
I just-
Yeah, okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just this is me speaking in character, but sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So what did you roll there? What roll was that?
I rolled an investigation, and I got a 4. And this is not a thing that Carolina, as a human being, would ever do in her entire life. This is absolutely something a Hortense would do. I take a swig.
All right, fantastic.
Just a little one.
All
I mean,
right.
like,
I
I
would,
wonder if it's gross.
I would like you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yep.
Take a fucking sip, babes.
All of these stupid decisions make more sense when you realize that I'm
14.
14, doesn't it? Why is she doing these dumb things? It's because she's
Hortense
a
is just
child.
This is how you learn.
Stupidity,
This is how you learn shit.
21.
Yeah.
All right. So you take a swig of this water, and it is, well, it doesn't taste like stale water. It doesn't taste like it's full of like any kind of gross greeblies or anything like that. But it does have a taste to it. Certainly isn't water, or at least not plain water, so far as you can tell. It's kind of hot almost but not in a temperature sort of way, and it kind of sticks to the back of your throat a little bit as you swallow.
Is it like spicy, or is it just stale?
It doesn't taste stale, and it doesn't taste spicy like chili spicy or even like nutmeg and cloves kind of spicy, but it tastes sharp-ish, I guess.
Right. Okay, I would like to cough profusely and like turn around and like spit on the ground so it's not as gross. And I go, Gil, don't put that on or in your body.
Yeah, getting the impression that's probably a bad idea.
Hey, what if this was some kind of poison intended to poison the tree?
I mean, that would kind of make sense.
I mean, that would be a bit of a
Um,
big move, even in their line of work. I don't know how necessary that would be,
I mean, I
but
don't know
I
how
mean,
it's gonna work when it's in in a water skin, though.
well, I mean, they take it out of the water skin and put it in the ground.
Can I do like a medicine check or a history check to be like, I know what this is. It's
Sure.
XYZ. Can I do it as a medicine check?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
19.
19. All right. So it doesn't strike you as any kind of herbicide. You can work that one out fairly quickly. And it takes you a hot second to realize what kind of poison this is. It tastes like it could actually be some form of vodka.
Oh, it's just alcohol. It's spicy alcohol. Am I elven legal? What's the elven drinking age?
I don't know.
I'm gonna say I'm not legal elven drinking age for this world, but I did some underage drinking. I mean, I am on the run from the mob, so I've done some stuff.
You were
So
posing
I
as an
go
old woman, so like you'd had your little shots and stuff with
here
the
and there.
ladies from Mahjong, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, but like, it's not one I'm particularly fond of. So I go, oh, wait, it's just vodka. I don't like it. Who would like a skin of vodka?
I mean, I'll hang on to it and see what we can find to do with it.
All right, I give the wine skin of vodka to Audacity.
I just
Really?
find it very odd that there was a trapped chest here, guarding nothing of particular value.
Well, I suppose it's one of those situations where maybe one of your coworkers keeps stealing your lunch out of the fridge, and eventually you get to a point where you're like, okay, fine, Jeff, steal my lunch again, and you just make a trap.
Yeah, no, that's a possibility. Yeah.
You're welcome to investigate this situation if you would like.
Yeah, Gil's gonna have a look around and see if there's anything else of note. Trap bottoms in the chest. Or not trap bottoms, but like false bottoms in the chest.
He's got
Perception okay?
Yep.
Perception is probably pretty okay, 22.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. So you're looking around at this chest, and you can see the mechanism that launched all of those splinters into the lid. And the first thing that becomes immediately apparent is the bit of the bottom of the chest that it's embedded into. It's not built into the chest in a way that you could pick the chest up and not notice it. Like, it's kind of in a gnawed out little divot in the floor and then in the bottom of the chest. So it's more sticking up through a hole in the bottom rather than in the chest.
Okay.
Also, it's apparent to you as you're looking at it that the chest and the trap are not made in the same style. And do not look the same age.
All right. So, there's something weird about this trap. It wasn't made with the. Can I tell which one is older?
Yes, the chest is significantly older.
Yeah. Well, whatever this trap was, it was put in the chest like quite a while after the chest was made, and I think it seems like it's coming up through the bottom. Can anyone help me maybe try and move this and see if there's anything underneath it?
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Is that a athletics or?
Just a strength.
So it sounded like maybe the chest was just put there as a lure in the sort of saps that they're trying to kill around here with, coin and booze.
Straight strength. Never mind.
You do
I
move
can-
it a little.
I can have a go to help if you'd like. I've got a strength of +1.
Hey, Hortense, Julian says while she's helping.
8.
Have you ever heard of this really cool? I was reading about this really cool spell. It's called Guidance.
Yes.
Anyway, I was just wondering if you could maybe somehow learn that spell. I reckon it would be pretty useful for us.
What does it do?
You can't learn it right now. It's okay. I'm just making a joke. It allows you to add an extra 1d4 to your to rolls for like a single roll, basically.
Okay, that was a
And it's
Carolina
potential.
question. I genuinely didn't know. I mean, I
Okay,
can try
no,
and
that's okay.
I can try and thunderwave this box out of the way if you'd like.
No, don't waste your spells. No, Guidance is just a very, in my opinion, probably the best cantrip. But
All right. So between the two of you, you manage to sort of shift it a little, and there's a lot of scraping wood on wood, noise. You can't really pick it up though, and that's really as far as you get with an 11 and an 8. You kind of get it out of the way a little bit, and it actually catches. It seems to catch on the trap mechanism, because it is protruding from the floor, so it sort of holds the chest in place a little bit. Also, I neglected to mention this earlier, but with that 22 Gil, that perception that you did on the chest before, there is also markings on the outside of this chest that seem to indicate it's the equivalent of "if found, please return to."
Okay, cool. I can't read that.
Yes, that's right. You can't read. There does
I
seem to be
can't
some
read.
sort of markings on top.
Yeah. And also, if is this writing? I think this might be writing. Is there anyone here who can read this? I don't know what language it's in.
So yeah, I have a look, and
This sign can't stop me because I can't read.
So can I make out who it says please return to? Like, or is that it? Like, is there like a name scratched out, or can I read the name? Or
Oh no, there is a name. It is in common, and there is a name. Then it's the property of Michelson.
okay. If we can somehow remove this box, I reckon we should put the stuff, the 15 gold pieces and the water skin of booze back in and try and return it to Michelson.
Why?
Well, there's two scenarios here. There's either this water skin is actually a phylactery for a lich and we should destroy it, or otherwise,
I think it's just booze. I think it's just booze, my dude.
Or this guy wants his chest back.
Can I? But to be fair, I've already taken a mouthful of it, and I don't think I can drink lich. I mean, if I can, I will. I would love to see the DM have to deal with me ingesting a lich.
I mean, have you tried?
I haven't tried to eat a lich. It hasn't come up before.
Well, maybe it has. You just haven't noticed because they were tasty.
Did you hear all of that? Audacity?
I missed the middle half of what was going on. There's a name.
Okay, so basically, this chest belongs to someone called Michelson, and I point at the writing on the chest. It says, "Please return it to him," which sounds fair enough, I guess. So I was suggesting that we put what we found back in there, and if we're somehow able to remove it, perhaps he would appreciate having it given back to him. And then Hortense asked why.
I mean, I'm gonna contribute the thought that on the way here, getting into this tree, helping out the people who've been coming into this forest, trying to cut everything down, has been the wrong approach. We're more trying to help out the stopping of cutting down of everything. And honestly, given the state of things here, it looks more like Michelson might be one of the people that we're trying to stop. But
Fair enough.
I mean, if we keep coming around and come back to this chest another 3 times like we did with the dam, then maybe we can look into finding out who this is. But
Yeah, right.
being a dead end, it does leave one option left for which way we're going. But that feels like just back the way we came.
I don't know what happened with you, but things don't always seem to exit the same way they came in here.
Well, that's gonna make things a bit more confusing, isn't it?
Yeah, it did.
But I suppose we head onwards and see if we come back here again.
All right. I am going to, as in Julian is going to bring out his pot of ink from his backpack and just drop a splotch of ink every now and then as we're wandering back the other way.
Sorry, I missed that because we had people coming through the front door. Could you please repeat that?
Okay. So one of my mundane possessions that I have is a bottle of ink.
Yep.
And I'm going to routinely drop little splotches of that
Alright.
as we're exiting in the other direction.
Okay, great. All right. So you're gonna make your way back the way you came, away from the dead end and the chest, around that U-shaped bend and down the corridor where you had your assorted staggered naps, to the portion of the corridor where the fire once was and is no longer. And it is. It has retained a smidgen of heat still. Like, it is 4 to 5 degrees warmer in this part of the corridor than down the other end, but is causing Gil no particular ill effects at this point. It has now been long enough.
Gil is going to glare at it anyway.
Fair enough. And as you move through the section where the fire was, you come to a T intersection with an option to your left and to your right.
Can I remember which one we came down?
You can roll a history.
History, yesterday.
18. Absolutely, you can. When entering this part of the maze tunnel system, the party more or less came down from the left hand arm.
Well, I guess we head down the one we didn't come in by.
Is that an in-character statement or is that an out-of-character statement?
No, that was out of character because slightly brain. I think we came in that way, so head this one instead and see where it gets us.
Yeah, just a heads up, everybody. I think we may encounter a spider problem if we go down that way. I'm not, totally sure because I really don't trust anything in this tree anymore, but, if it's still the same as it was yesterday, then yeah, there's some spiders down there.
That's good to know.
Oh, Hortense. I mean,
What?
you do what you want to do, but what if you turned into a spider and had a little
I'm not-
snoop around?
Oh, okay. The way you said my name, I thought I'd gone and done something rash, and I felt like that Simpsons meme, but I'm like, I'm right here. I didn't go herring down the corridor. I mean, I can turn myself into a little spider, but we can't move very fast. So we could be here for a while.
I think if we're saving the spells for when we run into trouble, given how things have been going in here.
Yeah, and I don't want to metagame, but based on the message that the DM sent us earlier, I'm guessing we're gonna have to fight a bunch of spiders. Again.
Or an end boss.
Entirely depends on which order you do things in and which direction you go.
Oh, good clarification for both. Excellent. All right. Well, why don't we move forward then?
Onwards.
So are we taking the path to the left or to the right?
I think the one we didn't take as a first option. But cautiously.
Alright. Sounds good. Doodly-doodly-doodly-doo. Alright, so you're making your way down the corridor.
Make my way.
And I'm going to get everybody to do me a perception check, please.
Okay.
Well,
Gil! Oh my god! Oh, please get in that one. Oh, not quite. Avro, what is your mood today? Good gosh! That is 2 nat 20s and a nat 1 and
a 7.
And a 7 plus 1, so it's an 8. Unbelievable. Alrighty. Audacity, you don't notice shit nor dick. It is a corridor, it's dark. You really don't want to be here anymore. You can't fly in this place, it's shit. Julian, you're noticing a little bit that you can't hear anything in the corridor ahead of you. There's no spider noises, no skittering, no zombie sounds, no nothing ahead of you. For Gil and Hortense, both with natural 20s. You're looking down the corridor and you can't hear any spiders. And Gil, you know that there were spiders just around this corner. You remember this corner quite clearly. But as you come...
Burned into my memory, one might say.
Yes, perhaps. You come around this another U-bend in the corridor, and just before you start to turn around another turn, sort of a right-hand curve, you both get a flash of something carved into the floor. It's kind of in a higgledy-piggledy kind of way, so it's not been neatly carved, but there is some sort of marking on the ground in front of you.
Gil is going to reach out and grab Audacity's arm.
What? What are we?
Everyone, I think we should maybe not step on that thing on the floor.
I have dark vision.
Mhm.
Can I see it more clearly because of that?
Not really. But it's not because it's dark. It's because it's unclear. So it's not broken. It's some sort of magic circle. You can tell that for sure. But it's drawn in a really weird way. And I will actually. Do I want to make you roll for this? Yes, I will. Can I please get you to roll me an intelligence?
Okay.
The DC for
Is
this
that,
is not
just
very
Hortense?
high because you got a nat 20. Yeah, no, this is just for Hortense.
19.
19, splendid. All right, so you're having another look at it now that you've noticed it. You look at it from one angle and then from another, and you realize that this magic circle is written in Druidic.
I know Druidic.
Mm-hmm.
Haha. What does it say?
It has a lot of magical technical words in it, so it's hard to get a set of sentences or anything. But the vibe that you get, the gist of it that you get, is that it flips something.
I bet you it's the floor. I'm going to communicate all of this to my teammates and say, don't step on that. It's got a flippy thing written on it, and I reckon it's gonna flippy thing the floor.
When you say flippy thing, do you mean like gravity upside down, or like?
I think you step on the floor, and then the floor, like this is what I would do if I was putting a trap in a fucked up tree. Is I would have it where you go and you stand on the floor, and the floor goes whoop, and you get dumped underneath the floor.
Right then.
I think if you've ever seen the story when Nicolas Cage steals the Declaration of Independence, I think there's something like that in there, or in the sequel.
Those came to theaters in Audacity's hometown.
I only heard about them secondhand, so I got the privateer version.
Yeah. Matt, that's what you're talking about. Audacity probably saw hand signals.
Gil, you got a nat 20 as well. While you don't speak Druidic, you did move through this part of the corridor before, and that doesn't quite sound like anything you encountered on your way through here before.
I've definitely been this way before, and I don't think I noticed this last time. And that's not what it did. I don't know what it does do, but maybe I didn't step on it right. I don't know.
I mean, maybe it was working before and it doesn't now.
Or maybe it needs enough weight. Like enough people need to stand on the thing before it flippies you.
DM, you were saying it looks broken?
It's not broken. It's just badly drawn. Like very, very badly drawn. Like almost as if the person who was drawing it, like it's not drawn with ink or anything like that. And it's not carved necessarily. It almost seems as though it was organically formed in a way.
Oh, like the tree grew it. That's kind of cool and kind of gross. All right. Can I do any druidic shit? I mean, I don't know if it's gonna help, but I do have detect magic. But we're in a magic tree, so I don't know how useful that will be. I can also make one of you jump real far. In case that's useful to jump to the other side.
I mean, are we thinking that stepping on it's a problem, or that going over it's a problem?
I think it's a stepping thing. Like, I'm no expert with traps, but my knowledge of, and this is Carolina speaking, my knowledge of television tells me that if you step on the trap, that's when you're borked.
Can Giel roll anything with its extensive experience with traps to see what kind of does this resemble anything it's seen before, or what would it do in this situation?
Yeah, you can roll something. Did you have something in mind?
Got a little. Hold on, I've got. Oh no, that's ships specifically. I could do a history. Just seeing if there's anything that's. I think history might be equivalent to my best skill in this instance.
All right. Go ahead and roll a history. Poppy, get away from my mic. 15.
15.
Cool. All right. So, looking at this magic circle, while magic circles are not particularly common in your experience,
No.
usually they do take some sort of specific trigger, and because it is so deeply ingrained into the floor, and there's no aura, there's no get your cheeks off my mic, going on the floor, have some floor time. Floor time. Because there's no glow, there's no aura, there's no anything that is apparent in the air above it or on the ceiling, it does strike you as contact based.
Yeah. All right. Giel is going to take its. Is going to take out its crowbar and try poking it.
All right. Fantastic.
That's the sound of a GM that's just been handed a the plot continues button.
This is the sound of a GM who has to decide what she's going to make you roll. I am going to make you roll a let's make it a Constitution saving throw.
Everyone or just Giel?
Just Giel for the minute.
How's a 20? Not natural. Dirty 20.
Nothing happens.
Oh, I hate that more. I hate that more! Because it's the implication and it's luck.
Well, that did nothing, but this should be contact based, so I don't know. Did I poke it wrong? I'm not doing it again.
How wide is this corridor? And how high?
I think I made it a 25-ish. It's not uniform, but roughly 20 to 25 feet wide, with about 15 to 20 feet high.
Can we go around the thing on the floor? Like, bleedingly obvious question time. Can we go around it, or is it across the whole?
There is space to shimmy around behind around the magic circle on the floor. Past it, yes.
Okay.
So I think we're left with a decision point of, do we keep poking at this thing and see if we're meant to set it off, or do we just try and get past?
I mean, I can just hortense if you need me to hortense. I'll just do it. I'll just walk on it.
I think that's a bad idea.
Okay, just letting you know, I can hortense.
Hortense is now a verb.
So I
Well,
think
GL was a verb earlier, so
Taking an intense.
takes a couple of steps back and then basically goes for a running leap over it, and just as she takes off into the air, just one good sweep with the wings, just for a bit of extra distance and not fucking this up.
All right, fantastic. So because of the angle of the corridor, you need to do it from the far left side in order to get past it at the right angle. But you do that, no problem. And you land on this straighter bit of corridor, and on the other side, around that corner, you can see your friend still there.
Wait, as in ahead of me or behind me?
From the direction that you just came.
Okay, so I've not just found a loop. You had me worried there for a sec.
Yeah, Giel is gonna attempt to shimmy around along the wall.
All right, fantastic. Let me just doobly doo, doobly doo. Doom. Can you roll me a perception check, please, Gil?
11.
All right, with an 11, you shimmy, and you shimmy some more, and then you kind of look up from where you were looking at your feet to make sure you weren't touching the thing. You can't see Audacity. And then you look behind you and you can't see the other two. For everybody else, you took your eyes off Gil for half a second and they were gone.
Oh. Did the sky eat Gale?
Well, there's no sky in here. Well then, I guess that's separate. We're all separated again. Not a fan of this.
Giel is going to one, have a look around and see what it can see. Feel free to use that same 11 for it. I suspect it's rather the same thing of oh, I've noticed everybody's gone. Hold up, wait a second.
Yeah, after the double take of oh no, they're not here anymore, you do notice a couple of spiderweb threads sort of in front of you.
Okay. Do they lead anywhere? Do they see, like, are they attached to anything? Are they dangling? Are they moving in the breeze? Are they attached at both ends? Are they connecting anything?
It looks like the very, very borders of a heavily spider-infested section of corridor.
Uh-huh.
With an 11,
Yeah.
you cannot see or hear any spiders at this point, but you do kind of notice the spider webs because it's a very outstanding color.
Right. So Giel is going to therefore not take. Come here. Sit down. Stop being restless. Is going to not take the course of action that it was going to take a moment before. It's going to sort of very slowly continue to shimmy.
All right. You can continue to shimmy. You're shimmying towards the spiders? Or away from them?
No, it's going to attempt to shimmy back the way it came.
All right. Alrighty. You shimmy and you shimmy. Let me just select your little icon here. You shimmy backwards and you blink and you are looking at Hortense and Julian. And everybody else, you blink and oh, hey, there's Gil.
Yeah.
Found the spiders. I found the spiders, everybody.
Oh,
Okay.
where are they?
I didn't think we were looking for spiders, so that's great.
You should always be looking for spiders. Spiders and eels.
I think we found the flipping that this circle's doing. At this point, I'm going to pull out my coil of rope.
Mm-hmm.
And I will hold on to one end and throw the other to Gil.
All right.
Hopefully nothing happens when the rope lands. But
Nothing happens when the rope lands.
yeah, do you want to try that again and but be holding on to this rope so we can get a bit more information here?
Uh, well, want is a very strong word, but sure. And Yell is going to wrap the rope twice around its hand and start shimmying again.
All right, cool. Can you please roll me a... I think I'll just stick with a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, that's a 5.
Alrighty. You shimmy towards Audacity holding onto this rope, and you blink, and then you're looking at spider webs, and you have a very little piece of rope dangling from your hand. And Audacity, as you blink, the rope falls to the floor, and Gil cannot be seen.
I pull on the rope.
It seems a little bit catching on the ground, but it's slack.
Right.
Yell would like to nope back away from the spiders.
Backpedal, or shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
All right, you're going backwards, and you are yet again looking straight at Hortense and Julian. Audacity seems to be behind you, and you are holding a piece of rope.
Is it still attached to the rest of the rope, or is it now severed?
It is now severed.
Huh. Well, that's I guess I'll mark that down as being 49 feet of rope now.
Yes.
Well, that's getting some interesting. How big is this circle, by the way?
There is probably about half a foot's gap between it and the walls. Give or take, it's not even, and it's not drawn even either. But about a foot's gap between the circle and the wall.
Okay. And I've not noticed anything weird on my end. It's just tunnel continuing.
Correct.
I pause for a minute, think, take my sword, and just try and scratch/cut a line through the circle.
Alright, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Like good. Those are dreadful.
Alright. So you reach down and you start to vandalize this magical circle. It's kind of hard with a rapier blade because it's thick wood. Like it's almost like these are embedded like tree roots in the floor here. So it's your rapier's not exactly designed for cutting this sorts of thing. But nothing apart from attempted vandalism happens.
Okay.
I'm going to be right back. Sorry, I won't be long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about anyone else, but I'm inclined to just go over.
I mean, if you think you can clear the distance.
I mean, I prefer to try and clear the distance than deal with the spiders, I guess. There are kind of a lot of them back there.
Actually, I've got an idea. The gum, how like vertical versus like rounded slopey are these walls?
Like they are kind of slopey. Like the rest of the network of tunnels, it's kind of been nibbled out, so the floor does sort of merge with the walls at a bit of an angle, but they're all higgledy-piggledy. It's very much not a by design kind of tunnel.
Yep.
Plenty of climbing handholds, that says to me.
Well, I'm going to pull out the backpack, rummage around a bit, pull out a bag of climbing pittons and a hammer. And unless somebody suggests something better, around the most obvious, safe from the circle distance, I'm going to start hammering these into the wall and attaching the rope to it so that there's something to make climbing past without getting quite so close easier.
I have a concern about this, and it is that the tree may disapprove.
Yeah, well, the tree's the one growing the circle, so fuck them.
All right.
Unless somebody objects in character, this is what I will be proceeding.
I mean, to be fair, circles is what trees kind of do in terms of how they grow.
Not druid circles.
No, but I mean, like, if it's a magic tree, it's not a huge leap. Like, my point is, I don't think we should get shitty at a tree for what is arguably natural for a tree to do.
Did I miss? Sorry, what did I miss? Sorry, I just needed to go.
We're thinking about whether or not we should piss off a tree.
Oh,
Deciding whether or not we were thinking trying to go over rather than facing the spiders, and therefore do we attempt to put some form of climbing piton into the wall, risking angering the tree, or do we let people take their chances with a climb roll or some other thing? I mean,
I would take my chances with the climb rule, I think, because pissing off the tree doesn't sound like a good idea. And
Yeah, as a rule, I don't like to piss off things I'm literally inside of.
Makes sense.
Ritual laughter.
What?
If you want to be trying that, then I'll just wait over here then.
all right. So I suppose that's acrobatics check.
Yep.
I reckon.
Actually, let me.
With the benefit of hindsight, it would have been objectively funny if I was like when I was still playing a little old lady, if I had like an obscenely good acrobatics check. 10.
24.
All right. So you guys are trying to climb along the wall to get to where Audacity is? Okay. Fantastic. So for Julian and Hortense, climbing this surface is not very easy. You managed to not fall off, but gosh, is it difficult. And as you try and come down on the other side, you can feel some fibrous threads under your hands. Gil, with a 24, you have no problems on this this surface at all whatsoever. In fact, you have crawled around on the walls and ceiling of these tunnels extensively over the last 24 hours. So you have no problem skittering across as if you were some sort of aquatic cockroach. But as you get to the other side, you do immediately clock the spider web that is in the corridor in front of you and cannot see Audacity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling lonely.
And Audacity is feeling lonely, I'm afraid. You blink and all of them are gone.
I'm going to look around behind me. Can I see Hortense and Julian?
Hortense and Julian are still hobbling across the walls behind you, kind of getting a little bit stuck in some of the spider webs that are clinging to the rough walls, but are still visible to you.
All right. Gil is going to head back to them, still along the wall, and keep an eye out for the spiders because spiders use those spider webs to tell when things come into their lair. So we may have just pissed them all off.
That, or like, oh, great, a buffet.
Well, yes, potentially that. Neither of which are good outcomes for us. So I think Gil is going to head back and attempt to hustle everybody out of the spider area post haste, providing assistance with climbing if needed.
Oh gosh, a dinner for Mr. Spider. If anyone listens to that, I would appreciate if they liked my niche reference.
All right, so Julian and Hortense, Gil is coming spidering in a funny way, back down the corridor wall towards you and giving you some shoes back in the opposite direction. Are either of you going to react to that, or just let the fish flail at you?
Just cut out there. You just completely cut out there. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, Gil is trying to get you back up down the corridor. Are you going to respond? What are you going to do?
Yes. I'll nod my head and respond. Sorry, I did not hear any of that before.
Yeah, you cut out for me as well.
Yeah, I'm sort of I'm like climbing along the wall, sort of back pressed hard up against the wall, flipping my hand at you to go.
I am going to get another climbing check from Julian and from Hortense, but Gil, you got a 24, so you're fine.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
I have the babyest cat.
Well,
Dirty 20.
Panic has surged within you and has increased your climbing capacity. You both scurry backwards across all the handholds, and Audacity, you suddenly see all three of your friends appear on the other side of the magical circle where they had kind of started.
Yeah, Gil is gonna sort of rip the spider web. Get it off! 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 Get it off!
As you all re-emerge, you hear Audacity 7, 8. Oh, like fuck. So that didn't go so well.
It might just be if we touch any surface.
Yeah. So do you want to try to get across without touching any surface, or are we because I can try and give a bit of help there, but the other alternative is just going whichever way it wants us to go.
What do you think we should do?
I mean, I don't know what it's like on that side of things, but the way that we fishman's reacting, it's not seeming so good. But then again, probably react that way to a nice sunny day.
Can I just ask, as an aside, what time we're planning to wrap up tonight? I just have to go to bed.
Yeah. No, I was waiting to see whether or not you guys were going to solve this.
You were
or
waiting to see. You cut out after saying that you were waiting to see.
Oh, I was waiting to see if you guys would solve this or move on before I sort of went, okay, that'll do it. But I'm happy to stop whenever you guys want to.
Yep.
Let's stop here and we'll make a decision next week.
All right.
Or next fortnight, I should say.
All right. Well, we will then cease proceedings here with Audacity on one side of this magic circle and everyone else on the other, and we will reconvene in 2 weeks.
Unless we wanted to just briefly try the Audacity shuttle method and see how we are after that.
Yeah, I'm happy to
I'm
try
happy to
that
do that.
quickly.
All right, cool. Let's give that a go.
All right. So, Audacity is going to do another running jump with a good wing flap to get back over the circle. I land in this reality.
You land in this reality, yes.
Okay. Yeah, you want to be first one across?
Really? No.
Hortense.
I'll go. I'll go.
All right. We run, we jump. I try and give you an extra bit of a boost. So,
Okay.
as we run and then jump, I try to, grab under Hortense's arms and give a couple of good strong flaps with the wings to just increase the distance, that little extra bit we might need.
All right, sounds good. I would like a strength check from you, please, Audacity.
I'm great at those.
Both of us?
Just Audacity.
Okay.
Hey.
16. Fantastic. Alrighty. So, you flap, you grab Hortense and kind of yeet her forward. And, can I have a dexterity saving throw from you, please, Hortense?
Dex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just from being yoked.
Cool. Let's give me a second. $16.
You land quite well on your feet. Not quite enough to do a flourish of any sort, but you land quite nicely on both feet. You haven't stumbled, and you appear to be on the same plane of existence as both Audacity and the other two.
Right.
Okay.
That was a bit of a thing. Think we keep going with this?
Yeah, well, I mean, the next thing to try is to just keep going and hope that the spiders don't notice us, I guess.
Okay, for the second attempt, I am going to hand one end of my rope to Hortense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do my flying leap back over to the other side with the other end of the rope.
Yep.
Who's next?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right. I hand the other end of the rope to Julian. Hortense, once he's in the air, you mind giving him a good pull on that rope to just help him across?
Sure.
I'm hoping that will let me do some manner of some manner of assistance with this, given I have a +0 to strength.
Do you want me to do a strength check?
I mean, up to GM of how we do this one so I'm going to do the same run and try and give an extra hoist with the wing flaps to get Julian across.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Hortense pulling him forward on the rope.
Yep. All right. I will get Hortense to roll the strength at advantage, getting the help action from Audacity. What was that roll for James? What was that 12?
I was assuming that I would need to do a dexterity. Sorry, but I can
Oh
re-roll
no,
something up.
that's fine. We just got to see if you're going to get to the other side.
How do I do the advantage roll? Sorry.
You add ADV at the end of your roll command.
Okay, just not in brackets or anything. Just
No.
as is.
Just as
Just
is.
add an extra word.
13. Yep. Okay. And and a 12 on the dexterity saving throw. Fantastic. All right. So it's close. You get this feeling that if you had pulled a little less hard, you might have lost Julian in the thing. but Julian manages to land on the other side with the two of you, and you now are 3-1 on this new side of the circle.
I will return with yet another one of my can't use a full fly speed in something this cramped, but the wings will do a little bit. Take the other end of the rope back. Alright, yeah, let's just you and me, shall we make a crossing? Maybe avoid some spiders.
Okay. Alright.
So, that one attempting similar to Julian's crossing, but with somebody much lighter.
Yes. Who is pulling on the other end of the rope, Hortense or Julian?
I've got a +1 to strength. What have you got?
I'll do the pulling.
All right, fantastic. In that case, can I please get Julian to roll me a strength with advantage?
So exclamation mark R D20 then ADV.
Yes.
Plus whatever your modifier is.
Yeah.
So D20 plus something. So D20 plus ADV, but that's a 17 plus 5.
I'll get you to roll it again because I'm really not sure how it's done it. So exclamation mark R space D20 plus 5 space ADV.
Space ADV. So it's D20 space ADV.
D20 plus 5 space ADV.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like that. Beautiful. We love to see that. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a total of 23. There is a flying fish at speed. Can I please get your dexterity saving throw, Gil?
Yes. Dirty 20.
Graceful. Absolutely graceful. You may let out a squeak of alarm, but then you kind of maybe do a combat roll or something, and then you just stand up, and it's like you had walked across. You're the picture of grace.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to look something like the aforementioned scream, which I'm not going to attempt again. And then sort of drops, lands, comes up in like the golem pose on the floor.
It's like a 3-point superhero landing, but for people who care about their knees and loincloths.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. All right, well, you are all together and you are all on the other side of this magic circle built into the floor. And so I think that is where we will leave it for today, and we'll see what lies ahead of you next time. Hooray!